See this right here? Okay, what is that? See this right here? Apple cider vinegar. I need to buy some more. I take 2 tablespoons of this first thing in the morning. Not to mention, I don't mix this with water or anything else. This is just really based on my personal tolerance. I, for one, love the taste of apple cider vinegar. So, the apple cider vinegar that, this is not something that I would say that is a fat burner. It's more so something that helps with appetite suppressant, and it also helps with digestion. Good afternoon, or actually it's morning. It might be afternoon for some people in other areas. But yeah, this just helps with digestion, helps with detoxification, helps with appetite suppressant. So I just take, 2 tablespoons of it first thing in the morning. That's what I do, and I'm almost gone, so I need to buy another one. Yes, UK, that's where you at. I see you guys. You're trying to see my face. But yeah, first thing in the morning, this is what I have. Some people tend to have this with water and lemon juice, or a lemon and honey for a little bit of taste if they find that apple cider, like, this is really acidic in nature, so they may not like that taste. But me, I just like to get it out of the way. I don't like dealing with all of that mixing and stuff anymore. Hi. I don't like dealing with all of that mixing and stuff with it anymore, so that's just what I do. So I'm kind of like in the middle of getting my day started, and I did want to talk about how I got fat, if that's what you want to call it, or gained a lot of weight, and how I lost it. I'll use it as a toner. Never thought about that. But I'm about to make my shake, and what I make is more so like a kale smoothie. You only really, you can see it right there. So then I'm getting ready to make. So kale and spinach is in here. Got it up to the top. Now, I would suggest this. Good morning. I would suggest this for anybody who has any kind of health ailments. Not to be funny, I found out when I started, when I started having kale smoothies again, my sight got better. Go figure. Just noticed some things. My sight got better. I started healing a lot better in my hairline. I mentioned to you guys that with oatmeals and certain, I guess, gluten foods, I was having an allergic reaction in my hair, which I've cut it, and the video will be up today because it's done. But my hairline and my hair and everything was being affected. I'm not eating meat. Only protein that I'm having is my favorite whey protein and eggs. But first thing in the morning, I have, I'm just reiterating, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and I make me a green smoothie. So I'm going to hurry up and make this so I can talk to you guys. So greens, that's kale and spinach, bananas. You can use whatever fruits that you want, but you should have more, should I say, of the vegetables than fruit. Yes, it's curly kale. So I only have a little bit of bananas for taste. This is great for potassium. Turmeric that I got from, oh, can you guys see that? There it is. That I got from Trader Joe's. You can get it from anywhere. I'll take 2 capsules, and I actually put it in my smoothie. So the capsules, you can open them up. This is really good for people who just don't like taking a lot of pills. It's a good idea. Good morning. Yep, so this is turmeric. So I just put 2 capsules of it in there. These are chia seeds, great for digestion and taste really good in a smoothie. So, nice energy boost. I put 2 tablespoons. Works for me. This is in the refrigerator. I have to do some research on that. And oh, awesome. I also like cinnamon in my smoothies too, but I try not to do too much of a lot of different stuff because simple or simplicity is key. Stop trying to do too much. So, yeah, this is my protein. This is what works for me. Not everybody is the same. If you're vegan or vegetarian, please don't kill me if you find the way that I do something. It's the way that works for me. So, it works for me. If it works for you, do it. Don't force me to do it your way. I definitely do not force other people to do it my way. I give them what works for them. As a coach, I give what works for the client, for my client. So, not everybody is on the same path as me. I don't think I'm fully trying to go vegan, but I don't know. If my body is okay with it and what I'm trying to do as far as goals works with it, then I'll continue. But right now, this is the only protein that I like because I love it. Bipolar taste. So, cup of almond milk. I'm not really a dairy person other than certain cheese like the Gouda or Guada. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it correctly. I always shake it. That you can put in a green smoothie. Definitely want to make sure you put spinach and kale in it, the actual food. But I have ran out of my superfood, my green superfood from Nutragics. So you could either go to Amazon, Nutragics. I'll have the link down below in the description box once this is over. But you can go down there and get the superfood. I prefer the green one. Some people say they don't really care for the taste, but when you mix it with certain things, it tastes better to me. I like it. It doesn't bother me. There's also like the wheatgrass and the green superfood by Dr. Eric Berg. He's on YouTube here. He has great products for health. So this kind of stuff really is good for insulin resistance, for health, just overall health. Let's just say that. I want to keep it simple. I don't want to get too scientific about everything. But there is something that I've noticed with this is my eyesight getting a lot better. And a little bit more of my allergies are starting to flare up less. Because my body, I have pulled out a couple of things out of my diet and then tried to pull them back in, and my body was like, no, it's not going to work today, so it's not for you. But greens. 1 we're good. At this point in time, first thing in the morning, you can either have this before a workout or after a workout. It doesn't matter. Because I'm not training for any form of a competition and I don't have a lot of body fat to lose, I'm not doing fasted cardio right now. I do all of my cardio after my weight training. So I get up hungry now, so I have something. And since your breakfast is the most important meal of the day, which it really means you need to really pay attention to what you put in your body first thing in the morning, because your body is eliminated of all proteins, carbs, fats. It's just digested, all gone. You're in a fasted state. So what you put into your body first thing in the morning, that's why it's important. Whether it be first thing in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if you're an intermittent fasting person. So the first thing you have to eat, make it count. Don't just put anything in your body when you wake up. At this point in time, your body is sensitive to whatever nutrients you put in your body. So think carefully. So I'm taking my multivitamins and my fish oil because it's easier for me to swallow. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. And I'm like, I don't like swallowing a bunch of pills. But 2 fish oils and 1 multivitamin. Everybody's choice of fish oils, multivitamins, or supplements is not the same. It's different. However, I do recommend a multivitamin. Coffee counts for energy. It's not, it doesn't have any health benefits. The multivitamins that I use for right now is the Nature Made until my Nutrogix comes in, because I prefer the Nutrogix brand. But I also like the Nature Made too. I think you can find this at Target, Walmart, Myers, so you can find it there. So this is the Nature Made, but this is just what I use. If you can't find it, just make sure you find some multivitamins and fish oil. Yeah, make sure you find it. So I take my pills with my shake. Not my pills, but my supplements. I'm not taking a fat burner right now. I don't start my fat burners until October the 1st. AM in the UK, oh my God. It's 10:17 in the morning in Michigan. I just missed something. Somebody said something about stevia. Luckily, I can use my phone. And I can see, but I need to, because there's always a delay in everything. Maybe I'll ask myself a question. So, plant-based, somebody mentioned about plant-based multivitamins, because they don't have they have stevia instead of sugar. Yeah. Do I think I would ever sell? That's an interesting question. I don't know if I would ever sell supplements. Give me some time on that. I'm not really interested in supplementation in the sense of that's all I care about offering to people. I'm more interested in helping people just live a healthy lifestyle. Because what were people doing before supplements were even around? They were eating right? All this stuff is created because our food is not like it used to be. I don't like gummy vitamins because of the sugar in it. But liquid vitamins, there's one that I used to use. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Vitalive or Alive or something like that. I like that one, the way it tastes. So if you prefer liquid multivitamins, go for it. But I don't like gummies because I think of the sugar. The sugar that's involved in it. So I guess you guys want to know how I got the title. You see the title, it says, "How did I get fat?" I didn't know any other way else to say it. I should have said, "How did I gain weight?" Good morning, Camille. Good morning. Let me leave some encouragement today. All right, so let's start off with first things first, because I woke up this morning thinking about, okay, I wanted to do a workout with you guys. Good morning, Jamie. Wanted to do a workout with you guys, and I hadn't even addressed how I gained the weight and how I lost it. And I know people were asking me that. I have previous videos. I have about 3 videos up already. No, I'm not in Richmond. I'm in Detroit, Michigan. Where finally it's not raining as much. But people were asking me. I have about 3 videos up already kind of talking about my weight loss journey. But I never really mentioned to you guys, and I watched those videos yesterday, and I never really mentioned to you guys how I gained the weight. So it's going to be 4, has it been 4 years? It's 4 years. I started in 2013 when I started my weight loss journey. I started my weight loss journey in August. I started with the Nina Detox supplementations. I found it on Instagram. There was a YouTuber that I had noticed had lost some weight, and she was using the Detox. She mentioned it, and so I went ahead and decided to try it in August of 2013. And this was just about a couple of days after my stepkids came to live with me and my my husband at the time. So that's what sparked it. But the part that I've never really mentioned, September is a very, okay, I hope I don't cry either. September is a very trying month for me. I started my weight loss in August because of the kids coming to live with me and my husband. All of those things going on in my head. I was about to be I was about to be a mother. They were pretty young, like 4th and 2nd grade, 1st, 2nd grade, 3rd. They were pretty young. So I wanted to be a good example. That was really important to me. I was in the middle of rebuilding myself spiritually. That was one thing that was going on with me. And I just wanted to be a good wife. So I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be a good stepmother. And I wanted to build myself a little bit more, spiritually. And that required me having to look at some things within my life that I hadn't even thought I had to look at, that I really paid attention to. Was active anyway, but I had a really, really suck diet. So before I took Nina Detox, I started with my diet first. So I ordered the stuff, and for about a week or 2, all I focused on was my diet, because I knew in order for my weight loss to stick, because I was around 32 or somewhere in there, maybe 34. I was a little bit older, so metabolism slowed down. All these things happen to you around that age. So I knew in order for my weight loss to stick, I needed to focus on my diet. But the real reason why I gained so much weight is September is not the happiest month for me. I usually around this time grieve to the 10th degree over the death of my father. He died September the 30th on his 50th birthday, and I was 30. So I gained a lot of weight due to stress from two different factors. One, I hadn't properly grieved over my father's death. Not more so that it was a loss to me, because it was a great loss to me, but it was more so the loss for my mom, my mother, the only man she knew, to see people part that way. To watch your parents, one of your parents leave. And not that they're just leaving you, they leaving one of your parents, my mom. And I remember me and my brothers, we used to have this thing. We didn't used to, we had it. And if my mom was watching, she's probably crying. She's probably not even going to respond. But I remember when it was their 25th wedding anniversary or somewhere in there. And me and my brothers, and you guys know Kevin, we said something about if one of them was to die, we had to sign a contract of who we were going to kill and how we were going to kill them, because we didn't think they could survive without one or the other. So we had said if mom died, dad had to go immediately because he wasn't going to drive me crazy, He was going to be all over the place. If anything, he would have probably died from a broken heart anyway if my mom had passed first before him. But we also said that if dad had passed first, that we would give mom 2 years to get it together, or we would have to get rid of her too. So it's funny. When he passed away, we never really made good on that promise. We did pay attention. We did pay attention to my mom, but she went through a deep depression over it as well. And I think my focus changed from not really grieving to being more concerned about how my mom was feeling, but I didn't know how to really communicate it because I was busy trying to be strong, especially because I understand the scriptures and I understand, the promises that, God has made for us, that, the resurrection hope. So that's what I believed in. That's what I believe in. I still do. But death is a sting. It hurts. Doesn't matter who you lose, it hurts. And it hurts even more, especially if it's somebody extremely close to you. And it hurts different for some people. For me, the hurt wasn't just the loss of my father. It was the feeling of being someone who has lost their mate, which I'm in that position too, because unfortunately divorce is the same thing. It's just like losing a loved one. It's just like losing a part of you, and it's died. So that was the first stressor. That was one of the reasons why I gained so much weight. I was single at the time. It was about a year or two before I even married my husband when, not married, but me and my husband reconnected because we grew up together. We were friends. But it was about 2 or something years, and I was just gaining weight. I was eating a certain way. I was an emotional eater. I was active. I stayed extremely busy for honestly no apparent reason. Which is probably one of the reasons why I'm so multifaceted, because I find myself just jumping head first into projects and doing things. And that just made me forget about my health. I didn't take time. It's not that I didn't take time to de-stress or declutter my mind, because I've always been a person who enjoys being alone in my own head. I do enjoy that because I like the idea of clearing it, getting reconnected, bringing positivity back into me. But at that time when my father died, I hadn't really grieved and I hadn't really processed it correctly. I processed it a totally different way. And that's how I gained a lot of weight. To be honest, I've always been a skinny girl. I've always been a skinny girl. But before that, I was taking birth control, which is called Depo-Provera. So if any of you are taking Depo-Provera, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the weight gain. You hear the stories of certain birth controls causing weight gain, which is why some people choose not to have, birth control. No real reason why I needed to even have birth control, but that Depo-Provera was helping regulate with my my periods, because I would have really bad cramps and just be out for days. So I decided to just take that because I didn't want to have to deal with taking a pill every day. So that's what I did, and that caused me to gain weight during my college years. The freshman 15 is real, so. Yeah, it did. It made me blow up. However, I was totally fine with it because I was a skinny pole. Like, I was a skinny girl, and I always wanted weight on my body. Weight. When I mean weight, I mean I wanted curves. So I got those curves. The boobs, the legs, the butt. Unfortunately, the stomach came with it. But I started to lose it down. I think I got up to like maybe 190 pounds, and then I dropped down to 170. Yeah, it's bad for our body. So I'm not on any birth control at this point, so don't need to. But yeah, I got down to like 170, and I kind of stuck there until I found out my father was out of remission. And it came back aggressively. He died from bladder and prostate cancer. And they did some kind of surgery or something, and I guess it was supposed to work for a period of time, but cancer is cancer, If your diet isn't pretty good. I mean, not that my dad's diet sucked, but it wasn't all that good either. But he was somewhat of a bodybuilder too. But when he moved to North Carolina, that's when we started finding out about the illness. But it could have been a whole lot of other factors involved in how, he come to have cancer. So that August of 2013, this is a few years way after my father's death. I think that was the first time I started to really think about my health. 1, because I wanted to be a good mother. 2, a good wife. 3, to be a better spiritual guidance in the home at that time, and was continuing to do that. That was the first time I really thought about my health, because I can't do it if I'm dying, Yeah, I'm going to talk more about the Nina detox in this video. But I gained most of my weight through stress and depression. Not the form of clinical depression that seems to be so big now. There's so many different depressions. There's manic depression, there's PTSD. I think mine was more so what the therapist said was post-traumatic stress disorder. So just going through depression and having properly grieved through it, and I say properly grieved in the way that I needed to grieve. Everybody's grieving process is not the same. It's different for some people. Mine was a holding in, and I'm not a holding in kind of person. I just really wasn't raised to hold things in. We were raised to talk. To talk about our feelings, and not only that, in a respectful way, or sometimes if it's just not, it's just to get an understanding of how you feel. But we were taught to communicate. We communicate very well. My brothers, my mom, my dad, we were communicators. So at that point, after my dad died, I think that's when I realized that was our head, and he was the one that helped us with communication. No, I did not consciously know that I was depressed. I did not know. I was like this before me and my husband started dating. So he kind of brought that out of me to see that I was still grieving. I wasn't married before, and to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about getting married because, let's just be honest, I'm a daddy's girl, and I'm like, hey, I got my daddy. I don't need nobody, you know? I mean, I would love to be married. I would love to experience the same things that my mom and my dad experienced, but you know, I was like, I'm fine single. But, you know, after his death, then I think the whole part of wanting to get married got stronger. Basically because I think a part of that was me trying to find comfort in a different way. So I have always been 5'6.5". I know somebody just asked that question about my height and my weight, and I was 170 then, so I'm gonna always be 5'6.5". I don't like saying half. Why do people say that? But even at my start of my weight loss, I shot up to 220 pounds, and I was still 5'6.5". I didn't get any shorter. So, but yeah, that's where I was when I got started. So that was the first start of my weight gain, and it was more so noticeable from me sitting down and reflecting. It was more so noticeable when me and my husband got together. Yeah, I was around 200 pounds around that time when he came around. And even the beginning of our relationship was rocky. Like, our relationships are rocky, but we got through that. And we became really good communicators and things like that. But mental illness is different for everybody. And unfortunately, that's what my husband has. He has mental illness. He just does. So, and I can't do anything about that. It's not my job. I can't fix that. So, at that point, yeah, dealing with grief. So that's why I got married, because I was dealing with grief, and I did genuinely love my husband. He was someone I felt that understood what I was going through. He did lose his mother about a year before, I believe about a year before my father had passed. He had went through some really tough situations with that. So we communicated that, and that is where the grieving process actually had began. And I had a comforter. My husband was a comforter. But then as our marriage continued on, we got married in 2011. So, you know, 2011, 12, all the way up to 2013. Those 2 years, rocky, and there's people who's probably watching me are probably familiar with what I was going through because they were right there with me. I won't say no names, but I love you guys so much. You have no idea your presence and your understanding and just being there. You have no idea. So they know exactly what I was going through. And I just got bigger. I went from like 180, 190 to 200, then 220 pounds just through the stress of my marriage alone and just going through my husband's post-traumatic stress disorder, manic depression, things like that he was going through. And when your husband goes through it or your mate goes through it, you go through it too. And I wanted to stick in there and help him. That was just me. I'm a nurturer. So something else I learned about myself. And really care to be more understanding than most. Some people, you know, when they look at certain forms of mental illness, they kind of just, I can't handle that. I won't deal with that. I kind of feel that way now, but I still know I don't. I can't even lie to myself. I still have a soft spot for it. I do. I just can't imagine people going through, you know, things that they can't control when there's something wrong, chemically wrong, or an imbalance mentally. Even if it's coming along because of life experience like PTSD. Or yes, it's a lot of people still watching the video. It's just because they're listening to me that nobody's commenting. But yeah, just that alone is stressful. Mental illness is stressful. And so it causes you to gain weight. Even if for any reason that you are eating very well, but you may not be exercising or may not be moving enough, you still can gain weight just off stress. It's stress weight gain. It happens. Because I was active. I was really active. I may not have been a gym goer or go, treadmill walking and all that stuff to the gym a lot, but I was very active. My diet sucked, and my emotions and my way of thinking was not balanced yet. I'll say that. I know people are still there. They weren't balanced yet. Even though I'm an extremely overly positive person, that sometimes it can seem naive, and trust me, it's not naive. It's just, I'm just a positive person. It's pretty hard to stay negative for me. I can go negative because I'm not perfect. There's times where I can think negative about things. However, it doesn't last long, because it's like, you know what, I'm just going to fight that thought pattern and get it out my head. What you say and what you think has a lot of power. And I know for some people it's hard to stay positive because mental illness can cause that to happen. But you got to fight that if you can. If you don't feel you need medication, fight those negative thoughts. It's not easy because we're living in a world where it's nothing but negativity. But you got to fight those. What you say and what you think has a lot of power, So staying a positive person, I think that helped me. Prayer and staying a positive person. I had to talk to somebody. And sometimes I couldn't talk to my husband, so who else am I going to talk to? God, right? I mean, he said pray to him, didn't he? So prayer is communication. Talk. He'll respond back. Trust me, he will. So that's how I gained the weight. So if you talk about gaining weight, stress, that's cortisol. And cortisol tends to build up in your waistline. So me as a mesomorph, which means when I gain excess body fat or excess weight, or if I'm the word called inflamed or dealing with inflammation, it's all over my body. It's evenly. It shows in my face, my neck, my hands, my feet, my back, my chest. It's even. The whole body just like kind of explodes. For some people, it's a little different. For endomorphs, it tends to be lower body. It's like right in the belly and lower body. That's it. Never really gain much up at the top. For ectomorphs, if you gain any excess weight, it's more going to be water weight, and it's going to be inflammation in the waistline, because usually ectomorphs are hard weight gainers in the sense of it's hard for them to gain fat, it's hard for them to gain muscle, so they have to eat a lot. Which word again? Ectomorph, the skinny people. Mesomorph, the muscular, strong, for no apparent reason people. And 3, the endomorph, the soft, real Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian's body is not real, it's manufactured, okay? But the women with the beautiful curves, y'all, the endomorphs, yes. I'm stuck with the mesomorph body. But I'm okay with my body. I like that I'm strong. I like that I have broad shoulders. I like that my body typically has a smaller waist than most. So my 220 pounds look different compared to a 220-pound person who's not inflamed. In my waistline, and you can look at pictures before, and it'll probably be the picture that's going to be, well, actually, if you're my client, it's on the website. You've seen the picture, the front, back, and side picture, and I'll post it as the thumbnail for this video. My height is 5'6.5", but I didn't have sagging skin. I just looked like I was pregnant. And that was because I was inflamed, and I had I was insulin resistant, and an over amounts of cortisol in my body from stress, depression, just going through things. And not only that, the change of life, as you get older, hormones and the change of life that happens. So I looked like I was pregnant. It wasn't saggy in any sense. However, I was at 34% body fat. Like, I was considered morbidly obese. And I'm going to be so honest with you guys. At that time, when I found that out, I really didn't care. I really didn't see anything wrong with the way I looked. I'm probably one of many people who cannot talk like, ugh, when I look at myself. When I look at those pictures of me being 220 pounds, I don't kind of look at myself and be like, oh, what was I thinking? It's just kind of like, wow, I came from that. You know, but I kind of smiled because it was like, I didn't feel like I looked ugly or anything crazy. It just, some people have like the horror stories when they look at themselves in the mirror. They're like, oh, I don't like what I see. You know, for me, it wasn't that I didn't like what I see. I just didn't like the way I felt. And a part of that not liking the way I felt came into the whole idea of, now I can't shop for clothes that I want because I feel uncomfortable in what I want to wear. That was really it. It wasn't that I looked at myself in the mirror and was like, oh, I look gross. I thought I looked pretty nice. That was just me. But would I want to go back there and be 220 pounds again? No, I wouldn't. Not now that I have a taste of being not skinny, but being healthy and fit. So my weight gain came from two major factors in my life that were extremely stressful, and the way I handled it had everything to do with how I gained the weight. The loss of my father, which in a couple of days, that's about to happen. I mean, September the 30th. And now I am dealing with, you know, the stress of divorce. I don't know, maybe I feel indifferent, a little bit indifferent. I don't feel sad like I did at the beginning of realizing everything that was going on, stuff opening up to me, and I'm seeing this and I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, so I have to make a decision. So for my own emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, physical well-being, don't want anybody to think he put his hands on me. But for my overall well-being, this is the decision that, you know, I have to make. The stress of dealing with that did the opposite for me now. So I'm just getting out of the, I guess, the mental stress of it, because the emotional stress for me was just, you know, sadness every once in a while. So with that put a physical stress on me to the point where I was losing weight, because I came home at 150 pounds. And by the time all of this kind of unfolded, I was 142, 43 pounds. I'm like, what happened? Like, I was eating right. And I was eating right. I was eating more of a ketogenic diet. I was only eating proteins and vegetables. So I was barely having any carbs because I wasn't going out working out. If you don't like, see it with. Positive coping mechanisms versus negative. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, the amount of weight that I lost during this particular stress period did the opposite, because I went back to focusing on my diet, because it was the only thing I could really focus on anyway, because everything else was just unfolding so fast and so quickly, and it was becoming a heightened stressor. And I'm just going to be honest, I think God was trying to suppress that for me, because I can't do it by myself. So He's trying to get that, let's get this out. Got to get this out. We're not going to go back the other way, like with dealing with stress. So I lost a lot of weight because just my diet was just different. My body was under stress, and it was eating up my body fat percentage, which brought me down from, I think I was like 20% or 19% body fat. Now I got down to somewhere around 17. And I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? But yeah, so that's what stresses did. So now that's what emotional stress had did for me. So instead of me eating like I had no sense, I just started not eating or just stuck with proteins and, vegetables. So now that I'm out of the whole emotional part of it, I'm just getting out of the mental part of it. And the mental part of it is the anger. So emotional is the sadness. For me, the mental part is the anger, because I'm angry because how it happened. How did I let this happen? Sometimes you think back on stuff and you're like, seriously, how did I not see that? So it's a mindset change. It's definitely a mindset change. So that's what's going on with me now. I'm going through it again. Go figure. I am grieving over the loss of my father in a totally different way now, but now I'm grieving the loss of someone else that I looked up to as supposed to be the comforter or supposed to be the spiritual head in my house, but it didn't work out that way. So imagine me coming now, September 30th. I don't know, maybe I'll be live so it can keep me together for a minute. You guys will be there for me. But hey, this is what I gotta deal with. So change in mindset is everything. Change the way you think. And don't be afraid to struggle trying to change. Don't be afraid of the struggle. It's not easy. My weight now is probably about 145, 146. I believe because I think somewhere near my cycle might be coming back on. Women, we really get a normal, we really get a good normal week. Yeah, we really don't. I think my cycle should be coming on again. So I'm I should be around 145. That's what I weighed myself yesterday. I weigh myself every once in a while. So that's how I gain weight. Now, very popular diet that's happening right now is the ketogenic diet. When I started my weight loss journey, I believe I was not doing a ketogenic diet. I believe I was just doing more so of a paleo type diet. I didn't do intermittent fasting either. I just ate every 2 hours, and this is what works for me. Are y'all in the 180s? It depends. Some people's 180 looks really good. So I don't worry about weight, because a scale can lie to you. Pictures don't. And I got tons of pictures of myself from 220 to now, like ridiculous. I have all of the pictures. The ketogenic diet is a very popular diet right now, which means low to no carbohydrates, and that means processed foods, sweet potatoes, fruits. Not that I think you should keep yourself away from those things, because sweet potatoes, white potatoes, they're vegetables. Fruits are good for you. They're good for digestion. They help with cravings. But just processed foods in general. But just taking the sugar completely out of your diet is one of those things. And originally it was designed or created for people who dealt with epilepsy. So I find that the ketogenic diet works really good for people, for any and everybody, to be honest, if you're trying to lose weight. Because carbs is the problem. And what people don't realize, it's the processed carbs that's the problem. Not the carbs that you should be eating, should be eating, which are foods God made for you. Vegetables are carbs. Fruits are carbs. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, they're carbs. just the processed stuff, oatmeals, breads, even Ezekiel bread, even though it's a pretty good, you know, it's considered to be a more healthier bread for people who just love bread. But processed carbs, the standard American diet is just full of boxed stuff. Yeah, so, and emotional eaters, if you're an emotional eater, you're probably eating processed foods. It's not like you're going in the refrigerator and just, you know, grabbing a handful of spinach and putting it in your mouth as you're crying. You're not doing that. You'll go and get a donut or go to Subway or go somewhere else and eat. So this is really good. I didn't realize it was going to be this good again. I don't know. It tastes really good right now. But, yeah. That's just what I have in the morning. So, my thoughts on the ketogenic diet. It's a very successful way of eating. With the exception that you are going to have potatoes and fruit. I don't feel that you should eliminate those things out of your diet. However, if you are extremely overweight according to your standards, not somebody else's standards, don't let somebody else say, oh, you 170 pounds, you overweight. And you like, no, I don't feel overweight, so don't tell me I'm overweight. You know, if you feel that you don't look the way you want to look and you want to get your body fat percentage down and you want to try a ketogenic diet, I will say for the first 6 weeks, you probably want to not have any forms of sugar. And unfortunately, that includes fruit. So you may want to cut fruit out and processed carbs, breads, oatmeal, cut that out. Processed foods, period. And what else do it? And sweet potatoes or potatoes, the starchy carbs, rice, quinoa. You know, even though quinoa has a higher percentage of protein, but it is a carb. Don't get it twisted. It's a carb. Look at the nutrition label. Look at the nutrition facts. Black beans. I mean, people think that that's considered a protein. Yes, it does have a higher amount of protein other than other beans, but it's more so a carb than anything because it's higher in the number of carbohydrates than it is in protein. So stay away from carbohydrates, carbs that have high amounts of carbs, like higher than 15 grams per serving. How about that? Stay away from them. Keep it on the 15 and lower as far as the foods are concerned, or just totally eliminate them for the first 6 weeks. I'm being very, all beans are carbs, even black beans, but people keep saying black beans. Like, you have a, black bean burger and protein. Well, yeah, you're going to add eggs with it, probably, or some protein powder or something with it. But ketogenic diet really does work if you take those things out of your diet for a short period of time so that you can get your body to react to what you're doing. It gets you into ketosis a lot faster. And the simplest way to say that is, instead of you using food for energy, your body using the food for energy is using fat for energy. And not just the fats from the foods that you eat, but the fat that's on your body, the excess body fat. It eats that up. So that's the simplest way I can say for ketosis. Ketones. Simplest way, what does it do? Is push you in a position where you're burning body fat. That's what it means. So the simplest way I can say it. So those are my thoughts on the ketogenic diet. You definitely can try it out. I have a program. I have a ketogenic diet program. If you're interested in losing weight faster, try Nina Detox. I'm just going to put it out there. I did the 30-day sampler. It's $58 somewhere. If you do a smoothie, preferably green smoothie, you can put some fruit in it, but just no more than a handful, maybe just like about this much of it. Because the idea of a ketogenic diet is to keep your carbohydrates, your sugars low to none. As fats, for me, not everybody likes avocado. There's peanut butter, almond butter, there's olive oils in your salads. There we go. Other things that I have suggested to people that works, like heavy whipping cream. I don't have that for me, but it depends on the person. I have to really, grass-fed butter. Yep, somebody mentioned that. I have to really know you and talk with you and get an idea of what things will work and what don't work for you. Instead of turkey bacon, just real bacon. You know, I don't eat pork, so do I consider that to be bad for people? No, I don't, because I know people who eat pork and they skinny in the mud, so, and they've lost the weight. But it's just eating meats. If you're going to eat meats, it's just eating meats that have a higher content of fat in them. So fat is energy. Carbohydrates and fats are energies. The only difference is carbohydrates, they turn into sugar a lot quicker than fats. Okay, so we're talking about glycogen and all of that stuff. I don't do coffee detox. Coffee is like a fat burner. It's like a thermogenic fat burner because it's caffeine. So the caffeine that's in fat burners, if you're interested in using a fat burner, for my clients, I already sent you an email with the list of the fat burners that I've used that I think are safe. However, don't use them if you have a doctor that says anything about your heart condition or anything. You need a non-stimulant fat burner. But I don't want people to get this idea from me, because you don't see me talk a lot about fat burners. You don't see me talk a lot about waist training, even though I do it, because I don't want people to think of this quick fixes, or think there's a pill for that. It's not. Just try to live healthy. Just do it. Stop trying to find a way to get it done faster. So, but Nina Detox does help. I did it for 30 days, and then I took about 2 or 3 month break, and then I started again in February. So I started in August, late August of 2013, and then about a good break, and then I started it up again in February of 2014, which is when I started somewhere in there when I started my fitness channel, this channel. So, and then after that, I didn't do it anymore, because I'm like, well, I can just stick with my diet and start eating like a bodybuilder. So I started studying up on bodybuilding. But the forms of exercises that I started off with was high intensity interval training. And it's true that that type of workout definitely helps you lose weight fast, because I dropped to 150 so quickly. It was I was amazed by it. It was because I was doing 2 things. I was doing cardio and body weight training in the same 20 to 30 minutes. It's called Nina Detox. Nina, Nina, and then Detox. Nina, that's her name. I have workout regimens on my website. I have my tablet out because today is, checking on clients day and making up some more plans, because I need to put some more on my website, and I'm gearing them more towards vegan and vegetarian right now, because I do have enough, paleo style diets on there. And then the ketogenic is actually friendly for both, for all forms. If you eat meat or you don't, that ketogenic diet is for both meat eaters and non-meat eaters. So that's what it is. But there is a HIIT program on there. There is a home workout on there. And then there's a lower body workout that's on there. And then I'm finishing up some more high intensity interval training, because it's where I live, it gets cold. I like going to the gym, so if it's not really bad outside, I'll go, but I also can work out at home, which from a live video you guys got a chance to see what my new gym area is. My pole is sitting in the middle of the floor. So that's usually what I do the most. But I do have, dumbbells, and I have bands and all kinds of stuff where I can work out at home. So because I can do that, I'm going to start filming and doing a lot more high-intensity interval training workouts. Yeah, so all of the workouts I have work your entire body. For my clients that started the September the 9th, I sent you guys the email. However, it is also on the website for my continued clients so that you guys can, you know, choose to do that one as your next go round for exercise. So I'm going to be sending the email out again because, you know, more reminders, it helps because sometimes you don't get the email or something like that. And then I got to make some changes for some of my clients to make sure that everybody's on the loop, in the loop at the same time. So yeah, that's what's going on. But I do have the ketogenic diet plan on there. I have a starter plan on there. I have carb cycling. Carb cycling is another really good one where you're cycling your carbs in and out, like you have higher amounts of carbs on one day, no carbs on one day, and moderate amount. You know, that requires measurement. So if you like numbers and measuring things, go for it. I use my hand. So this much is on a big day, about this much is on a moderate, and my hand is not there if I don't want any carbs on that day. And I tend to have the highest amount of carbs on leg days or back days because the largest muscles in the body. So that's what I do. The no carb days are usually on days that I'm not even going to work out, or I may just do cardio and that's it. So I do have that plan on there, the carb cycling plan. So it has to be set up according to your lifestyle. Just eating veggies and fruit is great. It's totally fine to add in the quinoa, white rice, brown rice, you know, sweet potatoes is totally fine with no meat. That's totally fine. You can do that. But if you're trying to do a true ketogenic diet, you're going to have to up your fats, which means, again, avocados, nuts, seeds, the oils, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, almond oil, sesame oil. These are all, just stay away from vegetable oil and canola oil. Not good for you. GMO. Go the other way with that. Olive oils for salads. Liquid aminos, which is it's kind of like a way of saying BCAAs, but it's another form of protein alternative for vegans and vegetarians. So I use that a lot. Mangoes is a fruit, so you can eat fruit, but if you want to get into ketosis faster, stop eating it for six weeks. Just stop for 6 weeks. Oils, don't be confused about oils. Just stay away from stay away from canola oil and vegetable oil. That's pretty simple. They're GMOs. They're genetically modified. So any other oils, yes. You can cook with them. I'm also hearing that coconut oil is bad too, but it hasn't given me any problems. So, it hasn't given me any problems. If it's bad for you, more than likely you might want to do a little bit more research and see, because the industry is starting to get into our foods. So, everything is about money right now and keeping us medicated, and they're doing it through our foods. So I hate to bust it to you, but that's just the reality of the life and the world we're living in. So that lets you know who's ruling it. The garden diet plant, what is that? Just eat fruits and vegetables. Yes, you can lose weight just eating clean with no workout. However, working out, and it does two things. It's a great stress reliever because it does release endorphins. It does release energy. It does strengthen your body, and you can't replace muscle for fat. You know, fat doesn't turn into muscle. However, when you're building your muscle, it's growing, and so the fat got to go away because you need to have room for the muscle. And I'm saying it in a kid-friendly, simple way to think of it. So if you're trying to get your body fat percentage down, you're going to need to build some muscle. And high-intensity interval training is good workout because there's your cardio, which is involved because Fat goes away a lot quicker with cardio. And then when you're doing weight training or strength training with it, now you're shaping your body and you're molding it. So it happens a lot faster. So yeah, you can lose a lot of weight just off diet alone. How do you build your butt? There's a workout for that on my website. It is. That's what I'm doing right now. Trying to build my butt some more. I already got enough upper body. This is so worth it. So, how to build your butt. If you're having, yes, I will. Someone just asked dietist. Yes, I work with anybody. I mean, you have PCOS. You can have just about anything. I can work with you. It's your lifestyle that I'm paying attention to, and getting in with that diet, which usually is the hardest for a lot of people because life kind of gets around. My website is my name. It's beautycutright. It's usually always linked down below of all my videos. Beautycutright.com. You can go there. I do online coaching. It's $50 for 6 weeks. We focus on, I'm saying we because, I got help, but we focus on your diet first, then your training, recommending certain types of fat burners. There's more than just thermogenic fat burners. There's non-stimulants, there's L-carnitine, there's tunneling, there's CLA. These are all different types of fat burners. Or you could just have coffee or not have fat burners. I mean, you don't have to have them. You don't have to have them. But they do help. But they only work when you have a top-notch diet and you're sticking to it. And the diet is always the hardest for people because, when the diet is always the hardest for people because life keeps happening. Life happens and just stuff happens and you can't stay or stick to that diet. And so it makes you have to make choices. And sometimes the choices are not as good because you're so used to eating a certain way. And now you have to change how you eat and you're not quite sure if you're going in the right direction. So the best way to do that is just stick with fruits, vegetables. And if you eat meats, eat them. Just keep your diet clean. Just stay away from the processed stuff. Pasta is not good for you. I'm sorry. It's not. It's carbs. You want pasta? Try spaghetti squash. You can have a lot of that and just be fine. Because it's a vegetable, first of all. It is a carb, but it's a good carb. It's a good vegetable, and it's a fibrous carb. So, veggie pasta, I'll give you my idea on it. For some people, I do suggest that if that's what's available to them. The reason why, me personally, I will not even touch a veggie pasta because in my head, it's in a box. It's processed to me. So I won't have it. I just won't because I don't know if it's plastic with green food coloring. I don't know what it is. I didn't make it. So I want something that we didn't genetically make. I want something that God made for me to eat. So that's just me personally. I'm not saying that you should just totally cut that out of your diet. It may not be that big of a problem for you. But for me, it's just my way of thinking, and that's just how I think. So I'm sharing you my thought pattern, but I'm not telling you that you have to think that way. But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, like I said, I don't know if it's plastic. I just stay away from stuff like that. No, I have not heard of Dr. Sebi or Sebi. I hope that's how I'm pronouncing their name because I like that name. Marine collagen as a cream or as a pill form. Oh, who just passed? Oh, okay. I'm going to Google him. Somebody asked, but Um, alkaline eating for healing. Well, you know, Dr. Berg does that. He talks about that too. And that's who I'm studying under. That's the herbs. Okay. I use collagen cream that I found from, it's 100% collagen cream. Ooh, then I'm going to be watching him. I use collagen cream for my skin, but you can also use a peel form. It's pretty good. And that's just to tighten the skin after a certain age. And I'm gonna be real, it is a big difference in African American skin compared to Caucasian skin, Asian skin, any other skin. The elasticity is a lot different. If you watch or if you look on Instagram, and you may follow any kind of weight loss journeys and stories, and there's tons of different people where you see their before and after pictures and how their body looks compared to when they had a lot of weight and when they've lost it. You'll notice within certain nationalities, it's not as much loose skin as it is in other nationalities. And I don't know why I'm trying to be so politically correct about it, but I don't want to offend people either. But yeah, with certain nationalities, more so with darker skin, our elasticity of our skin when we lose a lot of weight is a little different. So purchasing a collagen cream is not a bad idea, or a collagen like peel form. It's also located in most like skincares. You know, they have that for, they have that in some of the skincare. Some of the best skincares that's out there has collagen in it to tighten and keep the skin tight. So, you don't have to deal with like wrinkles and lines and stuff like that. So yeah, there is a big difference. So if you are worried about loose skin from weight loss, I'm not gonna hide and say that you won't deal with it. It may not be as much as some nationalities deal with, but you will have it, especially if you've been overweight for a good period of time. Doesn't matter if you're overweight because you have excess skin and looseness, or if you're inflamed and you're just solid. You're still gonna have it. It's just not gonna be as bad. A veggie bone broth. I haven't really had bone broth, but I would definitely recommend it for vegans or vegetarians. Bone broth. If you're trying to get some kind of protein in, or you're someone who's transitioning out of eating meat, to each his own. I'm not going to give you my thoughts as to say like certain things are just bad or off. You have to find out for yourself. And if you're not exactly sure, that's what my coaching is for. I have to hear your lifestyle and get an understanding of you as a person to help you figure out how to eat right, or how you want to eat. How do you want to eat? I have to lead you into that. So I know, and I give a little bit of freedom in my coaching, because the idea is to get you to think for yourself. I want you to think for yourself, but I coach you into it. And that's why I make my clients send me pictures. Some of you have been slacking on the pictures, but I understand why. I totally understand what's been going on with the hurricanes and stuff that's going on, and some of you have been affected by it. But gotta get back on track. If you need my help, don't make me have to force to reach out for you. Reach out for me. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so it's over an hour. I don't think it's vegan. It's just some people who's transitioning from eating meat. Some people who's transitioning from eating meat but still want that taste. You can have liquid aminos or bone broth. I mean, it's your choice. If you are a vegan right now and you're watching my channel, please, this is one of the reasons, I'm about to go all off subject, I gotta get off, but this is one of the reasons why it's hard for me to go vegan, because people will make vegan so religious. It's not a religion, it's a way of eating. Stop turning it into that. Eat what you want to eat. People are saying, oh, I can't wait till you go vegan. I never said that I was going to go vegan. I don't even know. All I know is there are certain meats that I am allergic to. I don't want to eat them no more because I don't want to feel the allergy problems. And right now I'm eating eggs. So that's what I'm eating. And I have whey protein. I don't use plant-based protein. The reason why, because me personally, I'm saying me personally, do not like the taste of vegan or veggie protein. It just don't taste right to me. Yes, liquid aminos have sodium in it. So it helps for people who have salt cravings, which I am one of them. So eat what you want to eat. I am not forcing anybody to be vegan, and I'm definitely not about to force them to eat meat. If you know that it is bothering your conscience, don't do it. I'm only going to give you I'm going to give you my personal advice. And I'm sorry, I was raised on meat. That's me. I decided to take it out. Yes, that's how I feel. And that's what makes it very hard for me to go vegan, because it's not about a belief system for me. My beliefs is totally different. Eating is not going to keep me alive. I'm just going to. And those of you who know, you know what I mean. You can eat all day, and you can eat healthy all day, but you're still going to die. So if you don't have a better belief system than how the way you're eating, you need to rethink it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with being freaking vegan. I don't think there's anything wrong with being vegetarian, keto, intermittent fasting. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a meat eater. I don't think there's anything wrong with you wanting to eat pork. It's you. It's what you want. And if it works for you, do it. So my opinion is not going to be one way or the other. I'm only giving you my opinion based on my own feelings personally for what I want to do, but I'm going to tell you, to each his own. That's just me. To each its own. I don't like to force people to do what they don't want to do. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you. I try to be awesome. It's not easy. I'm not perfect. Oh, frozen veggies. Yes, I do eat frozen veggies every now and then. Well, I think when I started my weight loss journey, it was easier to deal with frozen vegetables because I was buying, broccoli and stuff by, the pounds. So frozen veggies, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with them. Do I have them now? No. I don't have them now. I prefer to have them as close to raw as possible. More so like on the so-called organic. They say organic, but it's not frozen. That's what I'll say. Now I pick up vegetables that aren't frozen. But I don't see anything wrong with it because that's what I started off of. And I lost the weight, so hey. So... all right, guys, I have to get off of here because I have to check on some people and make sure that they are okay because my phone is in front of me. I have an iPhone now. But last thing, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday, the live. It may be every other Wednesday. So it may be every other Wednesday. I know next Wednesday I'm going to be on live. So it may be the first week in each month and the third week of each month. And those Wednesdays will be replaced with concentrated information, video information. So I think that's what I'm going to do because it is kind of hard trying to do this every Wednesday because my scheduling and everything is starting to change up on me as far as my responsibilities are concerned. And yes, Sam's Club has the best frozen broccoli. I saw that. It does. They do. But If you've seen the previous video of me showing you how I'm scheduling my lifestyle, I'm really giving you guys a like real deep look into how I schedule my life, because I'm being multifaceted and doing so many different things. That's one of the things I had to get together first with my life in order to start losing weight. So when I started my diet, I did start planning my life out because I had to, because I had kids in my home. So I had to plan everything. So now that my life has changed, I had to redo it again. And I'm showing that to you guys in that video. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, check it out. But I do plan, and I do mention that Wednesdays is the days that I'm on here live. So I'm still trying to figure out an evening time for my evening viewers. But if they're okay at just looking at this afterwards, then I'll just keep the Wednesdays. But it'll be the first week and the third week of every month. So that's what I'm going to do. So make sure you check out that video. You can go onto my website for the ketogenic diet. You can also go there for the high intensity, interval training programs that are on there, online coaching. You can find all of the information is there. And I will see you guys probably in the next video this Friday or Saturday, because I'm editing up the workout video right now. Lower body and with the bands. That's what I'm working on right now. So I recorded it, and then I have to get a video up for my clients on their high intensity training program. So I will see you guys. Have a blessed day. Have a great day. Awesome day. Productive day. I know some of y'all are at work. I'm at work too. I'm just at home. I gotta finish this. Bye. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to me and watching me cry about my dad. It's going to be a couple of more days of that, but it's with a happy face because I know I'll see him again. And I really hope you guys get to see the people you've lost again too. I really do. Love you. Bye, guys.